The coffee shop on Fifth Avenue had seen its share of unusual customers, but nothing quite like the woman who walked through the door on that rainy Tuesday morning. She moved with an ethereal grace that seemed to defy gravity, her silver hair catching the fluorescent lights in ways that made ordinary physics seem like mere suggestions. Her ears, delicately pointed and extending beyond what any human possessed, marked her as something extraordinary. Detective Marcus Chen looked up from his newspaper as she approached his table. He had been investigating strange disappearances around the city for months, cases that defied explanation and left the department baffled. The woman slid into the seat across from him without invitation, her violet eyes studying him with an intensity that made him uncomfortable. "You are the one they call the seeker of truth," she said, her voice carrying an accent he could not place. "I have watched you pursue mysteries that others dismiss." Marcus set down his coffee cup, noting how her presence seemed to make the air shimmer slightly around her. "I'm sorry. Do we know each other?" "My name is Luna," she replied, choosing a simple human designation. "And I am what your people would call an alien. More specifically, I am the most wanted fugitive in 3 galaxy sectors." Any reasonable person would have laughed or called for security. Marcus found himself leaning forward instead, his detective instincts recognizing something genuine in her impossible claim. "What exactly did you do to earn such a distinction?" Luna's expression grew somber as she traced patterns on the table with her finger. Where she touched, the wood seemed to brighten momentarily. "I stole something that belonged to my people. Something they believe gives them the right to harvest entire worlds for resources, regardless of the intelligent life that calls those worlds home." The implications of her words settled over Marcus like a heavy blanket. "Harvest worlds? You mean destroy civilizations?" "Precisely," Luna confirmed. "The device I took is called a planetary assessment core. It contains the coordinates and detailed analysis of over 10,000 inhabited worlds marked for extraction. Earth is among them." Marcus felt the world shift beneath him. Every instinct told him this conversation was impossible, yet the evidence of his eyes and the sincerity in her voice made denial equally impossible. "Why tell me this? Why not go? To the government? The military?" "Because your governments would either not believe me or would attempt to use the information for their own destructive purposes," Luna explained. "I have studied your species extensively. You have potential for greatness, but also for terrible violence. I needed someone who seeks truth rather than power." She reached into what appeared to be empty air and withdrew a crystalline device, larger than a smartphone. It pulsed with internal light that seemed to contain entire star systems. "This contains everything. Every world my people plan to destroy. Every species they intend to eliminate. I have spent the last 50 of your years running from their hunters, protecting this information." Marcus stared at the device, understanding that he was looking at something that represented billions of lives. "What do you want me to do with it?" "Help me find a way to warn those worlds," Luna said. "Your planet has something unique among the species I have encountered. You have individuals who will sacrifice everything for strangers they will never meet. You call them heroes." "And you think I'm one of these heroes?" Marcus asked, surprised by the uncertainty in his own voice. Luna smiled for the first time since sitting down, and Marcus realized that even her smile seemed to bend light in impossible ways. "I think you are someone who cannot walk away from injustice, even when walking away would be safer. I have watched you for weeks, Detective Chen. You pursue cases others abandon. You fight for victims who have no voice." The weight of cosmic responsibility settled on Marcus's shoulders like a mantle he had never asked to wear. "How do we even begin to warn 10,000 worlds?" "We start with one," Luna replied. "The first world on their harvest schedule is in your solar system's nearby region, a planet called Kepler 442b. It has a thriving civilization of beings not unlike your elves from mythology. They have no idea death approaches. Marcus found himself nodding, though every rational part of his mind screamed that this conversation could not be real. How long do we have? The harvest fleet will arrive in 6 of your months, Luna said grimly. But that world is merely the beginning. Earth's scheduled destruction is planned for 2 years from now. The detective in Marcus cataloged the impossibilities he was accepting. Faster-than-light travel, galactic civilizations, planned genocide on a cosmic scale. Yet somehow, looking into Luna's ancient eyes, all of it felt more real than the newspaper he had been reading moments before. "What happens to you if they catch you?" he asked. Luna's expression darkened. "They will extract every memory I possess, then ensure I suffer for each life my theft has cost them. But my fate is insignificant compared to the billions who will die if we fail." Marcus made his decision with the same instinct that had driven him to become a detective in the first place. "Tell me what we need to do." Luna's relief was visible, as tension flowed out of her shoulders. "First, we must find a way to communicate across interstellar distances. Your planet's technology is more advanced than my people believe. I have observed your internet, your satellite networks. With modifications, we might be able to broadcast warnings. And after we warn Kepler 442b, we warn the next world and the next," Luna said simply. "We cannot save them all, but we can try to save as many as possible, and perhaps if we are fortunate, we can convince enough worlds to unite in resistance." Marcus finished his coffee and stood, decision made. "My apartment has a basement workshop. It's not much, but it's private." Luna rose as well, her movements still carrying that impossible grace. "Detective Chen, you should understand that helping me makes you a target. My people's hunters are thorough and without mercy." "Then I guess we better work fast," Marcus replied, surprising himself with his calm acceptance of a situation that should have terrified him. As they walked toward the door together, Luna placed her hand briefly on his shoulder. "Your species may be young, detective, but you possess something my people lost long ago. You still believe that one person can make a difference." Marcus held. The door opened for her, watching rain bend around her hair in patterns that defied explanation. "Let's prove that belief right." Behind them, the coffee shop continued its normal routine, unaware that 2 beings had just committed to attempting the impossible. In 6 months, the first test of their desperate plan would begin, and with it, the fate of civilizations would hang in the balance.